Thanks everyone for jumping on. I know life gets busy, so I really appreciate you taking the time to join us this evening. The goal of this call is simple. We want to talk openly about men's health. We're just three guys sharing what we've seen, what we've learned, and what's helped us over the years. Men's health isn't just about fitness or doctor's visits. It's a combination of physical, mental, social, environmental, and even spiritual components. But all too often, men don't talk about all those things until something breaks. So tonight we're going to share some of the common problems that we've seen, and then we're going to talk about some solutions as well. That's what's worked for us, from small daily habits to even larger mindset shifts. So we hope tonight sparks something for you, whether it's a new idea or just the reminder that you're not alone. So feel free to drop your thoughts or questions in the chats as we go. We want this to be interactive and real. So to get this kicked off, I'm gonna pass it over to Henry. So Henry, if you would introduce yourself and then answer the question of what problems have you seen around men's health in the world.
Thanks, Kipper. So, as Kipper said, my name is Henry. I am a teacher by trade. I taught human anatomy and physiology for 15 years. I was in charge of the biology program here at one of the top schools in Ohio. Problems that I've seen in today's world, being educated at Ohio State in the pharmaceutical world, is we produce about 70% of the world's pharmaceuticals, and we consume even more of that. We are one of the richest countries in the entire world, yet we are one of the sickest. So there's all sorts of different diseases that have run rampant in my family. So personal experience, but you can see the number one here, one of every four will end up with heart disease. That was my grandma. And cancer runs rampant in my family. One out of three, that stat. It was hard to believe when I first saw it, but looking at how young a lot of my relatives have passed away. Well, I'll start with my grandpa's died of leukemia, cancer of the blood, with lung cancer. Grandma died of colon cancer, and my mom passed away when I was younger at age 44 from breast cancer. So this really hits me hard because I'm 44 this year. But genetics wise, if I don't change anything that my mom did, then I should be dead by the end of this year. And so I link arms with a bunch of these guys that you see on this call and a bunch of people in my community to make sure that I'm taking care of my body. Diabetes, obesity, but let's take a look at men's health because that's what a lot of you guys are here for. I'm not going to bother reading through all of these, but I was pretty surprised to find these stats. Men are more likely to be uninsured. We go to the doctor less, not because we are any less sick. We tend to be stubborn. A lot of us, have this idea that we're supermen and we can eat anything. Patrick, what kind of
I'll
problems do you
chime in.
see in your world?
Hello, everyone. My name's Patrick Van Duzee, is how you pronounce that. I'm down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, down in the South, and we like to eat a lot of yummy, delicious, savory, fatty, fried foods. I'm a personal trainer by trade. Just overall health and wellness is one of my passions. I've been a trainer for about 10 years now here in Baton Rouge. Got started just in a gym working with people, and I really get really face to face with what people are really facing on a daily basis. Starting out as a trainer, I was, working sun up to sundown, working with people every day. 75% of them were there because they had to come there because of their doctor's prescription, like saying like you need to get active, like you need to get things going in your life. I had friends just to get fit, so everyone kind of just relates two things to taking care of their health. That's like going to see the doctor and exercise. And I love exercise, but I think that's one of those problems in our world is that people just like kind of want to go to exercise and they're not really looking at the nutrition piece as being one of those things. It brings the question. I help people all the time, working with them every day, working out, and they're wondering why are they still unhealthy. You might have heard like marathon runners, they look super fit, but yet they might still like die of some type of heart disease problem in their 50s. You got very avid lifters, and I'm talking kind of to the men right now, just people who really go hard in the gym or with whatever activity they do, and then they still kind of wind up with these really bad issues in their 50s, 60s. 70% of what we eat is processed, Coke and candy and sweets, and again, training people. And then I have to get to that point where I've got to talk to them about the nutrition piece because they're like wondering after 6 months of working with me, why am I not seeing results? I'm like, well, to be honest, 80% of this journey is your diet, is how are you eating? And so let me help you out there. Not just working here in the gym. We've been working hard, sweating and whatnot, but we've got to look at that piece because we don't realize how big of an iceberg we're really looking at with this underlying problem. I mean, we see this problem on top. We're like, okay, I need to get fit, and then when there's this bigger underlying problem, it's how much processed food are we eating? How much just unhealthy meals are we eating on a regular basis? Now, even if you're trying to eat healthy, the produce in the grocery store is 50 to 80% less nutritious. So that broccoli or that banana or that apple or spinach, whatever that you're trying to get for yourself, it's got like half of the nutrient density that it used to 30, 40 years ago, whenever it was, more of a local produce section. So these are just huge issues that I see on a daily basis. I like to run marathons. I like to train hard. I like to lift in the gym. But I also started to realize that that wasn't the only thing that was going to keep me healthy. And the food piece was super important. Probably 2 years into being a trainer, that was when I really started to talk to people about just helping them with their nutrition more. Because I felt that that was a bigger problem than just them being fit. And I'll tell them straight up, we're going to work out hard here, but nothing's going to happen if you don't start focusing on what's on the end of that fork and the other 23 hours that you're not with me. So I'm going to pass it over to Kipper. Kipper, what are some of your things that you see?
Yeah, thanks, Patrick. My name is Kipper Court. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Andrea. We live in North Carolina, and I'm a former professional athlete. And now, my career after my baseball playing days, I've been a health and safety leader in the construction industry. And for me, the biggest thing that I've seen over the years, when I go back to my playing days, I knew that I needed to fuel my body in order to recover and be the best that I could. And whenever that translates now to in construction, which is 95% men, you see when they come in at a younger age and then how quickly their body just deteriorates over time. So 30 years later, 30 years into their career, they may only be 50, but they look 75. And, it's just because of the oxidative stress that is put on our body. And that's through not fueling their body properly. And I honestly, I've been referring to everybody out on the job site as an industrial athlete, trying to get that mindset shift for, hey, you're an industrial athlete, you should fuel your body. And, I mentioned the oxidative stress piece of it. Whenever you cut an apple open and you leave it out on the counter, all of a sudden it starts turning, brown. And in a short amount of time, once the oxygen, comes in contact with it. Well, the same thing happens to our cells inside of our body. Whenever our body is stressed, whether you're working out or whether you're just stressed from work, your body doesn't know the difference. It just knows that it's stressed. And when that happens, free radicals start forming inside your body and they start running around attacking all your cells. And if you don't have anything in there to combat those free radicals, the inside of your body it goes under severe oxidative stress, and which leads to inflammation. And we all know that inflammation is pretty much the center of all disease. But the good news is there is a way to combat this, and that's with antioxidants. Fruits and vegetables are extremely important, and they're filled with antioxidants that allow our body to be able to fight these free radicals. But that leads into the problem with even the construction industry or even anybody else. It's hard to find good, nutritious foods. And as a result, people just settle with what's at the local gas station, and that leads to fried foods, as Patrick mentioned, and our body ages so quickly, but the antioxidants allow us to not age as quickly. So, everybody thinks that taking a multivitamin, for years, but you only have 30 isolated vitamins in that particular multivitamin. Where if you look on the left, an apple has 10,000 different phytonutrients that work synergistically within your body to help heal and fight off the free radicals that I spoke of earlier. The thing with multivitamin, you end up spending money, and next all you have is fluorescent urine. Realizing that 5 milligrams of vitamin C from an apple is more effective than 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C from a multivitamin. People are so quick to run and say, hey, I took so much, vitamin C, I shouldn't be sick. But again, their body doesn't recognize it all because it is synthetic. So again, just the fast-paced lifestyle and trying to go grab a multivitamin to make you healthier, research has proven that that's not the case. So Henry, every time I see numbers, those statistics you threw up there, it's always alarming to me how many people experience disease. And Patrick, just the day in, day out of just getting around in life, it's so easy to swing into a fast food place and just grab something quick that's not as nutritious for us. That led to me going to every GNC or local supplement shop trying to find something that was going to make me bigger, faster, stronger. And again, as a result, all I did was spend a whole lot of money, and the synthetic vitamins didn't help me any. But that's where simple solutions come in. And for me, I learned about it during my playing days with the Red Sox. I didn't realize exactly just how important it was at the time. So for the past 7 years, you can see the capsule bottles over my shoulder. Juice Plus, what they did is over 30 years ago, they found a way to encapsulate fruits and vegetables for daily consumption. And Henry will get into the research here in just a little bit, but this gives you an overview of just what your body's getting, because the key is we need daily fruits and vegetables. And I don't know about you guys, but when I think about on my day to day, I don't know that I really ate a vegetable yet. And I've already been awake since like 6 a.m. this morning. So I did take my Juice Plus though, so that's the key. But the good thing about this is it's proven to effectively get into our system and give our bodies the nutrition that we need. And even more recently, some people didn't really necessarily want to take the capsule, so they found a way to put it into a stick pack and allows you to put it in water, and it actually tastes delicious. It's the same clinically researched core blends as the Juice Plus capsules that I just shared with you, and it's easy to mix, shakes right up, and again tastes delicious. But the back to the problem that I noticed, it was hard to get the daily nutrition that we needed. Since taking Juice Plus, I very quickly noticed from working out that my recovery time drastically improved. Like I would work out one day and I was ready to go the next day. I almost didn't realize, I almost questioned whether or not I worked out hard enough the day prior, but my body got the nutrition that it needed with the Juice Plus capsules. What's also great about it comes in a gummy form as well, for kids. So that's where we actually have the Healthy Starts for Families program. So if you have kids, they need the nutrition just as much as we do. So the Juice Plus company found a way that said, hey, you know what? With every adult sponsor, a kid's going to get the fruits and vegetable gummies for free. And again, it's truly amazing. But it's made so simply. It's just plants. A lot of people say, well, what else is in there? There's got to be something else to it. But no, it's just fruits and vegetables. Dry it at a low temperature to remove the water, and again, just put the powders in a vegan capsule or the soft chews, in which now we have the superfoods powder. So again, it's truly remarkable, and it's just an awesome way to get the daily nutrition that we need. And again, as I mentioned, the Healthy Start. So if you have any kids that are between the ages of 4 and 25, they're able to qualify for this Healthy Starts program. So it's truly remarkable. I don't know of anywhere else that does this. And as you can see, already 4 million kids have benefited from this program. That's my solution. It's pretty simple. I'm going to pass it over to Henry now.
Thanks, Kipper, for introducing us to that solution. My story kind of began when I was dating this girl on eHarmony of all places. I was being fed these gummies that Kipper shared was for kids, but the truth is they taste delicious. And my inflammation went away. I had marched at Ohio State. My knees were all wrecked from snowboarding, from volleyball. I'm sitting here in my 20s, all the way through my 30s, thinking, why are my knees feeling like I'm 80 years old? And like I shared with you before, with all the disease that's been in my family history, on top of that, constipation, acne running rampant, I had scars and pits in my face from all the regimen of antibiotics and Accutane that I took for that when I was younger. And within a matter of a couple months of jumpstarting my health with these gummies, which I didn't know anything about the research, anything about how doctors back it up, my acne and the scars and pits in my face just disappeared. I can look at pictures of myself and I look younger today than I did 10 years ago. Unfortunately we broke up, and over the next few months, it all came back. I wasn't feeding my cells, washing them with all the antioxidants, as Kipper mentioned, with the oxidative stress that showed, and my acne came back. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I learned when I went to Dr. David Phillips. He works with sports teams, Olympians, but this guy just completely blew my mind. He shared apple or scalpel. We have a choice of whether we take the shortcut and do pharmaceuticals and those multivitamins, which, as you saw with those ingredients that Kipper was talking about, it's not even a fraction. It doesn't even belong in the same category as food. You can't substitute multivitamins for what we should be eating. When I look at all this confusing health stuff out there, it's difficult to know everything about everything. And so these are the 3 check boxes, if you will, when I'm trying to grade whether it belongs in my body or not. And Juice Plus checks all 3 of these. The first one, is it food? Is it something that God put on this planet, or is it something that man made playing God? And so a lot of times we say, did you eat your Juice Plus? Because you take drugs, but you eat food. And That's what Juice Plus is. It's food, dehydrated concentrates in powder form. The other checkbox I look for is it safe? And so NSF certification is a third party that comes in and tests it. And so we take safety super seriously. Is it safe for cancer patients? Is it safe for babies? And is it safe for pregnant women? And the research, they solidified my belief in it. When he showed all the universities that study this, you might recognize MD Anderson Cancer Hospital, Wake Forest or Vanderbilt or Yale Medical, not just in the US. And all these places, what do they find? They report, they put in medical journals, and you cannot pay your way to get into medical journals. This is the actual research that's been done on the fruit, vegetable, and berry blends, the combination of these specific powders. So within a matter of 2 hours, if you literally take a baseline of your blood and then measure the amount of polyphenols that have been absorbed, it increases even more at 5 hours and then 10 hours. And so all of these studies, and you can see these are just some of the gold standard double-blind placebo tested that they have put in the Journal of Nutrition, Journal of Exercise Physiology, Journal of Gynecology, Oncology, you name it. And so that's really what solidified my belief in this product. So again, when you're looking at different products out there, one, is it food? Was it made by God or was it made by man? Two, is it safe? And that is for cancer patients, for pregnant women, and for babies. And three, does it actually have real research, not some, hearsay that a doctor did in his basement, but gold standard research done by medical universities and published in medical journals. And so that's a little bit about my journey. Wanted to turn it over here to Patrick so he can share a little bit about his story.
Yeah, no, for me, I can't even talk about being a trainer anymore because I'm also a dad of two, like little kids now. So whenever Henry's talking about the kids, it's actually hitting me like even more than just the fitness stuff. Because I know that, some of you might have been seeing the fitness background for me and excited to hear that. But I also kind of take that and turn that to being the dad and thinking about the kids and thinking about yourself and thinking about what Henry and Kipper have both said. Like, again, as guys, we look at the products that we take and we kind of go for the hype or the strength or the rawness or the images or the marketing that we see, and we gravitate towards those things, and we have this kind of ego to try to do the best. And when we come back and listen to what Henry talked about with research, that really puts it on a pedestal as far as what you should be looking for. And Juice Plus really being at the top of that. With these solutions that I'm about to share, it really helps the family get on board and get things going together. We've got, not only do we have those capsule forms and the powder forms of the fruits and vegetables and berries, we also have some shake options that allow you to get like more of like a real meal source. Think about macro and micronutrients. Macro being the proteins, carbs, and fats that you eat every day. Whether it's the hamburger or the salad, those are what fills you up and what gives you that like immediate energy and helps you through the day is that macronutrition. The micronutrients being what's in the Juice Plus capsules, those non-calorie dense but more nutrient dense matter. Whereas this is more of the macronutrition, which complements that and allows you to get some better real meals in because if you just say the Juice Plus capsules, you're probably pretty hungry because you're not getting any macronutrients. The complete shakes and the perform shakes that you see right here, both, with that, you get a high fiber meal. And really, when you talk about from the reason why people are constipated and have gut issues, one of them just being the fact that they're not getting in really good fiber in their diet. And this is one of those opportunities to be able to get some really good fiber in your diet. If you ever grew up being an athlete, they told you drink some chocolate milk after you get done with working out because it'll replenish you, right? And this is just an even better alternative than that. A lot of the guys, the dudes in the world, they all talk about the beetroot and tart cherries for the blood flow and the pump and things like that. And this stuff is just absolutely amazing with some real natural ingredients that are just getting into your bloodstream every day. I always get this question like, well, isn't meat proteins better than plant proteins? The bioavailability of plant-based proteins is just absolutely astronomically different, so much better for you. And there is all the amino acids, a full amino acid complex in both of these proteins. Personally, I drink the complete all the time. I'm a chocolate and vanilla type guy, but I love to perform as well. So that's just my first solution. Being the trainer, I always love to go with what are you eating after your workouts to make it work, to get your body to refuel and replenish. But if you're looking for another little, kick of natural raw energy, is this Juice Plus Illuminate. If you're looking into the brain supplements these days, you'll see some of these listed right here. I like to highlight this coffee berry because it does bring in this little bit of a caffeine, but it's from the coffee berry, not from a roasted coffee. And so you get actually, if you think about like a cherry, so we're actually taking out that whole coffee berry and not a roasted like coffee bean or something like that. About the equivalent of like a small cup of coffee. So you're not like getting this caffeine jitter, but what you're also getting is these other brain supplements, as we kind of call them, the ashwagandha, the mushrooms, rhodiola, sage. They all are high in what's called nootropics. I drink this stuff every day as well. Like this is kind of like my midday, like extra little drink that kind of keeps me going. But I do train a lot, train hard, and so my brain gets very, very drowsy sometimes. And this really just helps me stay alert, stay on task and move throughout the day, cut through the day, quickly. And a lot of people kind of look at me sometimes like, how am I able to stay on it? And I say like, all of these things from Juice Plus are a little piece to that puzzle for me. Lastly, we've got what's called our Super Biome, and this is a brand new product that Juice Plus brought out. And if you don't know, your gut is like your second brain in your body, and you need to feed your gut. There's the prebiotic that comes in a yummy little drink, and then there's the probiotic that is in that capsule as well. Juice Plus is the highest researched product in the world as far as a nutraceutical. So if you've got any other questions or whatever, you can definitely like see one of us about getting those questions answered about those shakes, those Illuminate and the Super Biome, all different opportunities to again just add more to your health in little different ways. We have a lot of different avenues for you to get in what you want and what you need to kind of work in first. So I think now I'm going to pass it back to Kipper.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Patrick. There's not a whole bunch of products it may have looked like, but there's really not a whole bunch of products. There's just a few. And Patrick mentioned the macro and the micronutrients, and then all the way to the brain health, and then even to gut health. It truly is. It truly works in synergy whenever you put it all together. And the results are, each and every person has their own individual results because their body, when they start getting the nutrients they need, different things happen. So again, that's where the products just make sense. The products made so much sense to me and Henry and Patrick that we've actually partnered with the Juice Plus company. So now at this time, we're going to actually take just a few minutes and share, what it is about the business side of this and why, the supplemental and additional income that comes from us working our Juice Plus business is so important. So, Henry, if you would go ahead and share why the business made sense to you.
So I mentioned before that I was in the classroom, volunteering at my church and stuff. And Facebook does a really good job of making an average life or even a less than average life look super beautified, right? So what people didn't know was that I was overworked, I was underpaid, I was working 16 hours a day. And so the truth was I didn't really have any friends. I remember my very first event that I went to was a hula dancing event. And I just fell in love with the happy, healthy, vibrant community that is what I found was called Juice Plus. I'm a certified life coach now. And one of the things that I preach to my clients, instead of looking at life as a balance beam, because oftentimes we look at this word balance and we strive for balance. But the higher possibility is looking at it as a keyboard. A keyboard, you can actually play multiple keys at the same time. And so what I found was that this gives me all of those 8 keys. It gives me the fun aspect. It gives me the fitness. It gives me the friends and the family, and I can do all of them at once. It involves food. I integrate it within my faith. We bring the community in and we do exercise together. It's all family friendly. So all the kids come in and we can have discussions about not just fitness, but about the food and our faith. The flexibility and the freedom that this job gives you is bar none. Like, yes, you got to work, but you can dictate your schedule and you can really integrate any of your gifts. There's no one right way to do this business. So it is completely flexible. And I learned from my friend Annika Hudson that instead of prioritizing our schedule, why don't we schedule our priorities? And so my priorities are my health. My priorities are my family and my friends. And so that's what I cater my time to. So that's a little bit about why I joined the business. What about you, Patrick?
Yeah, no, for me, I was a broke trainer at first, just trying to make ends meet. I was a single guy living at mom and dad's house, working at the local gym here. About a year in, I kind of realized that I was getting a little burnt out on training all day, every day. I was just kind of searching, started to learn about passive income, and I started to learn about growing a financial portfolio and things. And this was whenever I was like 19, 20 years old, is whenever I was learning about Juice Plus. What I finally realized was that this was a vehicle for me to be able to leverage my life every single day, leverage my network every single day, and people that really need this stuff are right next to me. And then also I saw this amazing financial vehicle. We're guys, and if you're a man listening in here, you've probably been just going down the rabbit holes of all the ways that you can make income and all the ways that you could grow a financial future for yourself. And Juice Plus started to make sense as far as an entrepreneurial opportunity that costs $52 a year as a partner to be able to have a franchise of your own online that you can help people order products and create additional income. Juice Plus has these amazing digital platforms that make it so simple for you to be able to help somebody come on board and become a customer with you, and then you get to serve them in the best way that you possibly can, and they'll teach you how to do it all and give you that opportunity. That stream of income actually, it has afforded us to be able to go and travel for 3 months. And while we were in an apartment, we packed it all up in a storage unit, went travel, stayed in Airbnb, stayed in Mexico, stayed in all up in the East Coast. I got to go do my Ironman up in Indiana, and like all this was a part of just a big trip that we planned, and that's because of passive income, extra portfolio income, and the Juice Plus company, the Juice Plus business allows you and gives you the opportunity to be able to create something like that. And that's why I got involved, and that's why I'm so excited about it. So anyway, Kipper, I'll let you finish it up with your story.
Hey, thanks, Patrick. Thanks for sharing. But yeah, so for me, I have a successful career that I've been doing for about 12 years, and I enjoy what I do, but I also know that I don't want to do it forever. And whenever I learned about the Juice Plus products, they made perfect sense to me, and I wanted to just share them with everybody, especially after learning just what they could do for our health, or every aspect of our health. So why not partner and go share something that can truly make a difference in every single person's life? It doesn't matter who you are, what you're going through, what you're dealing with, what sicknesses you have. Juice Plus product is for you. So, if I could make supplemental additional income that would eventually, start as my plan B, would eventually become my plan A, later on in life, whenever I really do want to slow down and truly step away from the corporate career, Juice Plus provides that. Patrick mentioned they traveled for 3 months. Like, that's amazing. Having that flexibility, that is what the Juice Plus business offers. And more importantly, a few of the things that really stood out to me was there's no minimums, no quotas. You truly work the business at your own place, and every level that you make, you don't lose that level. When life happens and you can't focus on it, you come right back and your business is right where you left it. The other thing that really stood out to me is when you make it to a certain level within the Juice Plus company, you actually qualify for a full, basically corporate health benefits. That's medical, that's dental, that's everything, all the way down to just even your kids getting paid to go to tuition money. Like, I've never heard of any other company like this doing that particular thing. So that was just one of the things that stood out to me. And even Henry mentioned it, the community. That truly is the number one, the rock star part of this business. No matter where you go, what you're doing, there's someone else that's partnered with the Juice Plus company, and again, it's just one big amazing family. So again, that's why the business made sense to me. And again, why not make additional supplemental income at the same time? So again, thank you all for sharing. Again, appreciate you coming here and joining us tonight. We hope something that we shared with you really stood out and really kind of caught your attention. And if it did, please reach out to the person that invited you. We would love to talk to you more about what you heard and what interests you. But again, thank you guys for joining us.